In the last lecture, we established a one-to-many and many-to-one relationship between the user and the tweet entity. Now in this lecture, let's go ahead and let's try to create some tweets. Let's go to VS Code, and here, if I go to this tweet folder, there you will see that we have this DTO folder, and in that DTO folder, I have created a DTO called create tweet DTO. So basically, in order to create a tweet, we need the text of the tweet, and if there is any image with that tweet, we need that image URL or the binary data of that image. So these are the two things which is required in order to create a tweet. The image is optional, but the text is mandatory. Okay, so whenever a user is going to create a tweet, for that tweet we will have a text and we can also have an image. And along with that, we also need the user ID for the user who is creating that tweet. So I'm also going to add another field here called user, which is going to be of type user entity. Okay, or actually what we will do is instead of user, we will keep the user ID, which is going to be of type number. All right, and let's remove this import statement. So we need this user ID whenever a user is going to make a tweet. So this should be a non-empty field. It is a mandatory field. So here I'm going to use is not null or is not empty, this decorator, and to use this decorator we also need to import it from class validator, and the user ID should also be an integer value. So I'll also use is int to tell that this user ID is going to be an integer value. So this is one change we need to make in our create tweet DTO. Let's save the changes here. Now let's go to tweet service, and in the tweet service currently we are injecting this user service which we are not using. And with this user service, I'm going to keep this user service because we might need it. And with that, what we also want is we want to inject a tweet repository. Okay, so for that, we are going to create a repository. And to create a repository, I'm going to specify one more private property here. So let's say private read only, and I'm going to call it as tweet repository. It is going to be of type repository. And to use this repository, we need to import it from type ORM. And to this repository, we need to specify for which entity we want to create the repository. Here we want to create the repository for tweet entity. And to use this tweet entity, we also need to import it. Okay, so in this way, we are creating a tweet repository using this repository. And now, in order to inject that repository in this service class, we also need to use at inject repository. And to use this inject repository, we need to import it from NestJS/typeORM. And here also we need to specify the entity for which we want to inject the repository. So that should be tweet here. All right. Now here we have this get tweets method. I'm not going to implement this. We will implement it in our next lecture. But here, let me go ahead and let me create a method called create tweet. So here I'm going to create a public async method, and I'm going to call it as create tweet. And to create the tweet, we are going to use the create tweet DTO. So let me specify a parameter here. Let's call it create tweet DTO, which is going to be of type create tweet DTO. And to use this create tweet DTO, we also need to import it. Okay. Now in this method, we need to do three things. The first thing is with the request body. So whenever we are going to call this create tweet, for this create tweet, we are going to get the create tweet DTO instance. And in this create tweet DTO instance, you will see that we also have a user ID. So using this user ID, we want to get the details of the user. We want to fetch the user from the user table with the given user ID. So that will be the first step. Then the second step will be to create a tweet. And the third step will be to save the tweet. Okay, now to find user with user ID, what I'm going to do is in our user service, we have this delete user method, we have create user method, we have get all users. So in the same way, I'm going to create one more method, and this is also going to be an async method, and I'm going to call it as find user by ID. And this method is going to take an ID parameter, which is going to be of type number. And using this ID, we are going to find a user from the user table. So for that, let's say await, and here we are going to use user repository. So let's say this dot user repository dot find by, or find one by, because we want to find a single user, right? Also with a given ID, we will have a single user. So here I'm going to use find one by because it is going to return us an object. If we use find by, it will return us an array. So I want to get an object, a user object. So to this find one by, we need to pass an object where we can specify the condition based on which we want to find the user. So here we want to find the user using the ID field, and the value of this ID field should be equal to the ID which we are going to receive as the parameter. So here I can say ID. And since the variable name which we are assigning to this ID field both have the same name, the property name and the variable name are same, we can also omit this explicit assignment. So from ES6, when a variable and a property has the same name, when we are trying to assign a variable to a property which has the same name like the property, then we don't need to do explicit assignment. It will be taken care by JavaScript. Okay. So this expression here, it is going to return us the user from the user table with the given ID, and that user we want to return from here. Let's save the changes in the user service. Now we are going to use this find user by ID method in our tweet service. So here we are already injecting this user service, and actually let me call it as user service. We have a spelling mistake here. So what we are going to do is, here we are going to say this dot user service dot find user by ID, and to this find user by ID we need to pass the user ID. Now from where we are going to get the user ID? In the create tweet DTO instance, we have a property called user ID. So whatever value is assigned to this user ID, we want to pass it to this find user by ID method. Okay, and this will return us a user, and also this find user by ID, if you see, this is an async method. So here let's also use the await keyword to wait for the response to come, and then let's go ahead and let's assign the returned user to this user variable. Now once we have created this user variable, next what we are going to do is we are going to create a tweet, and to create a tweet we are going to use tweet repository. So here let's say this dot tweet repository dot create, and what do we want to create here? We want to create a tweet. Now in order to create a tweet, in the tweet we should have the text of the tweet, the image of the tweet, and the user of the tweet. These values, these fields will be auto-populated in the table. This ID will be auto-populated in the table. This created at and updated at will be automatically populated in the table based on the date and time when the tweet was created or tweet was updated. So we don't need to provide the value for these fields, and also not for the ID field. It will be automatically generated. We need to pass the value for text and image. This image is also optional. So if with the tweet we have image, that image will be assigned to this image property. If we do not have the image will be null. And we also need to specify the user. So this is also mandatory field. So in the tweet service, to this create method, we are going to specify the create user DTO. Now in this create user DTO, if you see, we have the text, we have the image, but we don't have the user. We have the user ID, but we don't have the user. So what we are going to do is, to this create method, I'm going to pass an object. In that object, I'm going to use the spread operator on this create tweet DTO. So it will extract all the properties of this create tweet DTO. And then in that object, I also want to add a user property. And this I'm going to assign it with this user variable. So now the object which we are passing to this create method to create a tweet, it has the text, it will have the image if the image is provided, but anyway it is optional. And now it will also have the user property. So now we are passing a correct object which matches our entity in order to create a tweet object, in order to create a tweet row in the tweet table. And again, here also I'm going to use the await keyword, and this is going to return us a tweet object. Let's go ahead and let's store it in a variable. And finally, we are going to save this tweet. So again, I'm going to use the await keyword, and on the tweet repository, we are going to call the save method. And to this save method, we are going to pass this tweet object. Okay, let's save the changes. And once this tweet object is saved and created, this save method is going to return us that tweet object, which will also have the ID of the tweet. So we simply want to return that tweet in the response. And that's it. Let's save the changes now. Now, in order to use this user service in this tweet service, from the user module, the user service should be exported. So it is exported here. In the tweet module, the user module should be imported because we want to use the user service of this user module in the tweet module, basically in the tweet service. So here we need to import the user module, and with that, the user service will also be imported. And then in the tweet service, we are already injecting an instance of the user service. So these things we need to take care. And now all we have to do is we have to go to tweet controller, and there we need to create a post route. So for that, I'm going to use this post decorator. And to use this post decorator, we also need to import it from nestjs/common. And now let's create a public method, and let's call it create tweet. You can name it anything. For this create tweet, we are going to receive the request body. So again, to use this body, we need to import it. Okay, and I'm going to call it as tweet. And what will be the type of this tweet? It will be create tweet DTO. Okay, and all we have to do is we have to call. So here, let's say this dot tweet service dot create tweet, and to that, let's pass this tweet object, which we are going to receive as the request body. And whatever this create tweet is going to return us, basically it is going to return us the newly created tweet. So that we want to return from this create tweet method. Basically, we want to return it in the response. With this, let's save the changes and let's quickly test this route, this endpoint. So let's go to Postman, and here let me open a new tab. And before that, let me save this request. Here I'm going to call it as get profile. Let's save it. Let me open a new tab. Let me copy the root URL of the API which we are creating. And in that, after this root URL, the endpoint is tweet, right? If you see, the endpoint is tweet. So after that, we are going to specify tweet. And here we want to make a post request. With this post request, we also want to send some data. So here I'm going to use JSON. Okay, and here let's specify an object. In that object, we need to have a text. And here let's simply say example tweet. And we also need to have user ID. And to this user ID, let me go to PostgreSQL. And here we have our user table. So let me rerun this query. So currently we do not have any user. So what I'll do is, first of all, I'll create a user. Let's go to Postman. Let's go to create user API. And from here, let's create this user, Vivek Gupta. Let's send the request. Let's go to PostgreSQL. Let's re-execute this query. And now we should have one user with the user ID 11. So I'm going to pass this user ID 11 with this post request where we want to create a tweet. Okay. With this, let me go ahead and let me make this request. I'll click on this send button. And you will see that we have received the response. We have received the text of the tweet. The text of the tweet is example tweet. And with that, we have also received the user details, the ID of the user, username, the email, password created at, etc. Since we did not specify the image, it is null. And this ID here, it is the ID of the tweet. And we have created it and updated it. So let's go to PostgreSQL, and there, let me go ahead and let me open this tweet table. So here I'll say view edit data, first 100 rows. And there you will see in the tweet table, we have one tweet with the text example tweet. We do not have any image for that tweet. Here we have the created date, updated date. So currently the created and updated date will be same. And you can also see the user ID of the user who has made this tweet, which in this case is 11. So in this way, we are able to create a new tweet using this API, this create tweet API. All right, so this is all from this lecture. In this lecture, we learned how we can create a new tweet and save the ID of the user who has made that tweet. So to create a tweet from the client, what we are doing, we are sending the text of the tweet. If there is any image for that tweet, we will also send the image value of that tweet. And we also need to specify the user ID who is making that tweet. So these two are the mandatory fields, the mandatory values which we need to send in order to create a tweet. So this is all from this lecture. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.